Greetings, fellow humans. Katrina here. Quick disclaimer. I am a professional. I'm not your professional. Nothing that I'm about to say should be taken as legal, medical, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for entertainment and amusement purposes only. Disclaimer over. So today I thought we'd talk about what I don't know about cognitive distortions. There are lots of them, and I don't know all of them, but I'll talk about a few today. And to challenge myself, I'll see if I can think of examples off the top of my head. So back in the 60s, I believe, was when this guy, Aaron Beck, really led the way on like cognitive behavioral research. And he coined the term, I think. Well, maybe he didn't coin the term, I don't know. But the term cognitive distortion became really common in the psychology field. And so all that means, cognitive distortion, cognitive is like thought, distortion is like twisted. So twisted thought doesn't mean that it's weird or wrong or bad or whatever. It's just that it is not necessarily indicative of reality. And so when we have a thought, we can't control the first thing that pops into our brain. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But we can control the next thing. We can control the response to that. So some examples of cognitive distortion, we'll start with all or nothing thinking. That's when you look at things in absolute or black and white categories. It's got to be always or never. So an example of that might be if someone's feeling depressed, they may think that they're never going to feel better, especially if they've never felt any other type of way in their life. If depression is all you've ever known, then why would you expect anything different? That's all or nothing, not necessarily reality, because as we know, things like depression are very treatable. Secondly, overgeneralization. This is when you view a negative event as a never-ending pattern of defeat. For example, if I'm searching for a job and I get rejected again and again and again, well, then I might think, I'm never going to get a job. Oh, that would be an all or nothing thought. No, I might take that negative event of the rejection and assume that I'm going to be rejected by each future attempt to get a job. And that would be overgeneralizing, because we've got to get those rejections to get to that yes, to get to that good fit. Another is mental filter. That is when one dwells on the negatives and really ignores the positives. So let's say we got a straight A kiddo going through high school, and all of a sudden there's a D, or dare I say an F, a failing grade. Someone filtering that information might take that failing grade and ignore all of the other A's, all of the other wonderful things that may be going on, gets completely discounted or gets completely flushed down and filtered out, only focusing on that one negative score or grade. Another is, and I almost went into this unintentionally, discounting the positives. So that's when we insist that your accomplishments or positive qualities don't count. And I use air quotes with the don't count, because something counts because we say it does. We give ourselves recognition for things that we've done that's useful. Discounting the positives isn't giving ourselves credit for anything. Oh, those are my ducks. So I'll wrap up with one final one of jumping to conclusions. So jumping to conclusions, or mind reading, this is when you assume that people are reacting negatively to you when there's no definite evidence for this. Or another way of looking at that is fortune telling. That is where you arbitrarily predict things will turn out badly. So I'm getting all of these from this book in the 1980s. David Burns wrote Feeling Good, the New Mood Therapy, and there's actually several other cognitive distortions that I might have a second episode. I think I'll do that. I'll do a second episode on more cognitive distortions. So stay tuned next week for additional cognitive distortions and examples of them. And remember, if you want to support the show, you can click the link on the website. And also, I do appreciate each and every one of you simply for existing.